After the bathroom experience, you bring everyone back to the table and hopefully they filled out all of their client care forms and they're ready to go. So you flip over to your Smoky Eye Onyx card. Now this is the tutorial that we're going to do today, and you just explain to everyone that, don't be scared of doing a smoky eye evening look. The colours may look a little bit dark and maybe something that you're not used to, but we have a step-by-step guide here that I'm going to place on the table so that you can go through. I would also suggest, if you as the consultant are a beginner and you're feeling a little bit nervous about doing it, why not give one of the guests a little bit of a job to do during the event, and just have them read out perhaps the steps to go step by step until you get more confident with what you're doing. Practice is going to be key though. The more you practice this look, the better you're going to be when you're doing your smoky eye evening look. You can also use, if the client is like, no, I definitely don't want to wear black, I don't want to do a smoky eye, the same technique with any of our colours, just as long as they have a light shade, a medium shade and a darker shade. So at this stage, I would get our host to be sitting up near you. Try and find somewhere that's got really good natural light, that there's not going to be a lot of shadows, that everyone at the table can see. Generally what I like to do on the host is I will do one eye, I will do one half of the face, and I'll get her to do the other, depending on time and depending on how many people you've got to go through. With a makeup workshop, I would say start out small with maybe 4 to 6 people. 8 would be your absolute maximum with this type of workshop. There's just too much going on, too many products, and it's going to get a little bit messy. So next visual aid we have here, we're really going to start the experience. So I would ask all of the clients, how's your skin feeling? How's your skin feeling?
Feels amazing.
Nice and hydrated?
It does feel hydrated.
Beautiful. All right, so remember that you've got this little face map in front of you that you want to start writing down all the products as we go through. So the first one I'm going to show you is the tools that we've got on the table. So we have a brush set for everyone, and also on this little tissue here you're going to find an alcohol swab. This is for swabbing any of the lip liners, the eyeliners, or any of the other products that you use that actually touch your lips or eyes. You have a mascara wand, which is going to be used obviously for mascara, a couple of little cotton buds, and you've got some lip testers as well. So those are going to be yours to use and yours only for the day. Once you've finished with them, you can pop them in a little rubbish bin here. In terms of brushes, this incredible little brush set comes in a handy travel case and has 6 brushes that we're going to use today. So just open the case up and get familiar with the brushes. It does have a little cheat sheet inside in case you get lost and you're not sure which brush to use for what section of the face. And also, these brushes are incredible. It's got written on the side what each brush is for. So going on, our first brush we're going to use is the foundation brush. So you can fold your brush set in half, grab the foundation brush out. These brushes are amazing because they're made with synthetic hair. So they're very, very easy to wash. They're very soft and smooth, and they go with our safe philosophy of not using any animal byproducts. By using a brush set with synthetic hair, you're also going to use less product because animal hair can actually hold on to a lot of the product. How much do you think a brush set like this would actually cost? 6 brushes, cute case.
I know, like probably $100 or more.
You would think so, because generally if you went to Mac or Mecca or somewhere like that, it's like $50 or $60 a brush. It's only $49. How amazing is that?
So cool.
So cheap. You get all of those brushes and the set together. So I love being able to share that with everyone because I know it's going to be something that you're going to want to add to your wish list today. So first product we're going to try. Who's excited? Yay! Is our primer. This is our #1 top selling product. I'm going to put 1 pump in your hand, squirt, squirt, and I'm going to get you to apply the primer between both fingertips and apply it all over your face. I'm just going to grab your mirror so you can see what you're doing there. Now, who uses primer at the moment? You using a primer?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so the reason why we use a primer is actually to fill in all of the surface imperfections and the ridges within your skin. So if you think about when you were perhaps, have you ever painted a house or painted a wall inside a house?
Yes.
The first coat that you always put on is primer. What that does is it fills in any ridges so that when you put the paint on top, the colour lasts longer, but it also means that the paint is not going to seep through to any cracks or any ridges within the wall. Same with our skin. So I absolutely love this primer because it's made with a grapeseed oil, so it's extremely lightweight. If you feel your skin now, how does it feel?
Yeah, really good.
I personally think it feels like velvet once you put it on. And it just soaks into all of the areas of your skin, and it's going to make your foundation last longer. And it's also lightweight enough to keep that moisture lock in as well. So I love that product and I love sharing it with everyone. It's also an award-winning product. It's our #1 top seller. Next up, we're going to use our foundation. We've got 2 types of foundation today. So we have a CC cream, which is your light to medium coverage foundation, and then we have a liquid foundation, which is a medium to heavier coverage. Now your CC cream has got 10 benefits in one, so it's got a little bit of primer, a little bit of moisturiser in it, it's got a blemish control in case you get breakouts, it's got a hydrator and lots of awesome things in it. It is going to be great for day wear, or if you're not used to wearing a lot of makeup, you probably want to stick with the CC cream. It will give you a dewy finish, so if you've got very dry skin, I would go CC cream. And our liquid foundation is got an SPF 15. It comes in, I think it's like 10 or something different shades, or maybe 12 different shades, so it's really easy to colour match specifically for your skin tone. It has a hydrator in it that keeps your skin hydrated for hours after wearing it, and it's going to give you more of a matte finish. But it is literally a colour block, so it's going to, if you've got any pigmentation, if you've got any scarring or anything that you want to try and cover, I would go with the liquid foundation. Which one do you think you'd like to try today, Lauren?
Definitely the foundation.
The foundation?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to colour match you. I've got 3 colours here which are our most popular colours, which is Buff, Honey Beige and Neutral Beige. And I'm just going to take my cotton bud and I'm going to take a small amount of each colour. I'm going to colour match just on your cheek, just to ensure you're happy with the product. Now, just a little time-saving tip, if you want to, you can, before all the guests arrive, when you're setting up, you can colour match the host prior to doing this, so you don't need to do it at the table, so you're just ready to go. Once I've done the host face, then I'll move around and colour match the rest of the people at the table. So what you do is you literally go find the most amount of light, and you take your cotton tip and you draw a line down the face in 3 stripes using the 3 different colours. Sometimes it gets a little hectic and busy, so I like to make sure I line the products up, the colour up in the way that I put them on my hand, so that you don't forget which colour you've used where. So now looking at colour matching, which one is going to work best for Lauren, I would ask her to take a look in the mirror, and what you want to find is one of those stripes is going to just blend effortlessly into the skin. At this stage, I'm also going to ask Lauren, do you tan a lot? Do you normally like with your foundation to be a natural look, or do you like to go a little bit darker than your natural colour?
I like to go a little bit darker, yep.
Okay, and that's because you do a bit of fake tanning?
Yes, I do, yep.
On weekends? Beautiful. So in this instance, for your winter colour, I would probably go honey beige, because that just blends really seamlessly into the skin.
Yep.
But for the purpose of today, because I've just asked you and you like to wear fake tan, I'm going to go one darker, which is neutral beige.
Okay.
So you just want to make sure you take the client to the area of the house that's got the most natural light. If you are doing an evening workshop, you just want to make sure that the light is not too yellow. If you need to go have a look in the mirror in the bathroom, I would do that as well. So quite often you're sort of walking with people to the mirror to make sure that they're happy with it, showing them which one you would recommend, and then you're going to do half the face, make sure they're okay with it, and then finish the rest of the face. So if you need to change it up, you can. So for this one, I'm going to use neutral beige. I'm going to take one of my tissues or fibrella cloths and just get rid of that product. It can get a little bit messy on the table, so make sure you've got a little bin. So you just need 1 pump of the liquid foundation is enough to do the entire face. So we're going to take our foundation brush, which is the flat brush, and I'm going to start at the forehead and work my way down the centre of the nose and chin, and I'm just going to apply the product in long sweeping motions out from the centre of the face. The reason why we start in the centre of the face is because that's where you need the bulk of your product to go, because that's where we get the most oily throughout the day, and that's where the product is going to wear first. And you just literally work your way out to the cheeks. You don't need a lot of foundation on the cheek. Don't be afraid to touch the client, because you need to steady your hand. So If you've got, make sure you've got a headband on so you're not sort of touching your hair, but literally you're just placing your hand to steady your other hand so that the client's feeling comfortable. Okay, so we've done half of the face now. I generally like to show all of the guests. Take a look at Lauren's foundation. What do we think? How's the coverage is the question that I would ask. And then I'll give Lauren the mirror and I'll say, are you happy with that colour, Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what do you think of the coverage?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yep, my freckles are nearly gone.
Yeah. And it's going to give you more of a matte look as well.
Mm-hmm.
So these are my tips for getting a really flawless look of your foundation. You, number one, need to start with primer. Number two, you need to use a good brush to be able to really just get that product into every single pore within the skin. And choosing a foundation that's going to work the best for you. Now we're just going to finish the other half of Lauren's face to even her out. Again, using the same strokes. And then you can really see how good this coverage is once I do both sides. Look up for me. You just want to use the foundation with the flat part just to really pat underneath the eye. You can go right up underneath. We always apply liquids before powders. So the next step I'm going to show you is using our liquid contouring product. There we go. I'm also going to take my powder brush, which has no product on it at all. I'm just going to clean that off to make sure. And I'm just going to blend that foundation in, just to make sure it's really sitting well on the skin. Beautiful. Okay, so now in terms of concealer, this new liquid concealer that we have is incredible because not only does it hide your dark circles in a cosmetic form, but it's also going to, it has a botanical ingredient in it that's the same as in our RE9 eye cream, which actually helps to get rid of the dark circles. So what we do is we go from the inner eye down to the top of the cheek, and we do an upward sweeping motion in a V. This is called a Hollywood V. I'm going to do both sides. We have 7 different colours within our concealer range, so I can perfectly match it to your foundation once I get the foundation colour that is right for your skin. And I'm just going to use our incredible concealer brush. I'm going to use the flat end just to apply the product. So I'm going to show you a couple tips just in the beginner's idea of contouring. And what we do to highlight certain areas of the face. In terms of makeup artistry, what you're looking for is an oval symmetrical face. So the areas of Lauren's face that I want to bring out are her eye area, because her beautiful blue eyes need to stand out. And I like to bring forward the nose. So I'm just going to take a little bit of highlighter on the nose, the Cupid's bow, which actually helps the lips to look a little bit fuller, and then just a little bit on the chin here, like so. So once all of that product has been placed on, it's super lightweight and it's really easy to buff. I'm just going to do a little bit more just at the top here. If you do have a large forehead, you may not want to put too much highlighter on your forehead because it might make it stand out a little bit more. So then we just take the other end of the brush and we literally just buff all of that concealer in, just to highlight those areas in circular motions. So we go out and we go up, and that just effortlessly buffs it away. You don't want to buff too much because you do want it to actually sit and do what it's supposed to, which is highlight. And there we go. Completely taken away any dark circles that you had underneath your eyes.
Amazing.
What do you think?
Yes, I need to buy that.
Now we're going to go on to our next product range. So this is going to also help you with highlighting using our beautiful iridescent shimmer. Has anyone used a highlighter before? Have you used a highlighter before, Lauren? No.
No.
Super easy to use. It gives you a full, flawless glow. There's 2 ways you can use it. You can actually pop a little bit into your foundation for an all-over, basically an all-over highlight, or you can take a small amount of the product on your fingertips and just dab on the upper cheekbone. So this is going to help to really draw the light to your eyes. a little bit down the centre of the nose, the Cupid's bow, as well, as such. Now that we've done all of our liquid foundation, our concealer, and our highlighter, we want to basically set the product. I love this translucent setting powder. It is so beautiful because it has an iridescent shimmer to it. There's no colour in it. What it does though, it really brings the look together and it helps all of your foundation to look like you have been airbrushed. So we take a little dab of the product and you want to just tap it off in the lid or press it into the brush of the lid. If you get a little bit too much, you can do it on the back of your hand. And then literally just circular motions all over the face. It's going to help your foundation to last all day and it's going to make it look like you have been airbrushed. It's one of my favourite products. Also, if you're just, going out at night and you need to spruce up your makeup a little bit but you don't have much time, this is a real great product to use too. There you are. So now our flawless base has been done. Looking good?
Yep.
Fantastic. Okay, so now that Lauren's done, I'm going to come around and colour match everyone at the table and I'm going to just make sure that you're all comfortable in what brush that you need to be using and the different steps. So I probably go back and just make sure you can show people which steps they're up to and help them as they go along the way. So that is foundation section done. Okay, so you want to move back to talking about the smoky eye look again. And you want to go into our eye products. So have this handy, grab the products that you need to be able to do your model's eyes. So you're going to need the brushes and the eyeshadows, eye primer to start with at least. Okay, you can have that handy. You can even prop it up at the back here so that you can look at it, or you can ask someone, as I mentioned before, to actually read it out for you. So to start with, our eye collection is so amazing. We have got this eye primer that literally will help your eyeshadow to last for 8 hours. It's brilliant. So as we age, I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, as we age, our eyelids actually get darker. What you need to do is always be making sure that you're using a base product that is lighter than your skin tone. So this primer does a few different things. I'll just get you to close your eyes. I'm applying it with a tester wand, which is a lip gloss tester wand. And I'm applying it all over the eyelid, right up into the eyebrow. And then I'm going to just use my fingertip to actually blend that in. You can use a foundation brush as well. And then I'll just throw that one away. So you can blend it with your fingertip and you just blend that in. So this eye primer, I have tested this out. I literally put it on. I did a full makeup at 8 o'clock in the morning. I took my son to kinder. I then went out, had to do an hour PT session, went shopping and got stuck in the rain, went to pick my son up at 5 o'clock, looked like a drowned rat, walked in the door at 5:30, walked past my hallway mirror and my eyes were perfect. I cannot tell you how amazing it is to know that I did not have mascara running down my face. So it's all because of this eye primer. What it does is it's got a botanical ingredient in it that actually smooths out your upper eyelid. So it's going to, if you're starting to find that your eyelids are starting to crepe or you get creases in your eyeshadow, this is going to stop that from happening. So it's also going to make the eyeshadows pop. The colour is going to pop when you're using them. Then you have our 4 palette or 2 palette of eyeshadows. These eyeshadows come in whatever colour you want to actually have them in. So basically you buy the palette and you get to choose the 4 colours that you want. Today we're going with the smoky eye look, so we've got Fog, Pebble, Monsoon and Onyx, which I'm going to show you how to use all of them. But how often have you actually purchased an eyeshadow set of 4? So I used to purchase them from Estee Lauder and Chanel. I've purchased Dior eyeshadows before and there's only ever 2 colours that I really like. And I've actually had to throw it away because I'm never going to use those other colours again. And I can't just replace. So when you run out of one, you can actually just pop it out with a paper clip and replace the eyeshadow that you've used completely. So they come in 24 different colours. We have a matte range, we have a highlight and shimmer, and we also have a satin range as well. So great for whether you have, whether you've got an older skin type or a younger skin type. We've pretty much got a colour collection for everyone. So first off, I'm going to start with our fog, and I'll get Lauren to close her eyes, and I'm going to just place that product all over using our all over eye brush, which is the fluffier brush out of the eye set. All over the eye as such. You don't need to be too precise with this one, just make sure it's covering everywhere that you put the eye primer, because that's going to set the primer. Again, remembering that liquid before powder. Now I'm going to use our shading brush, which is the shortest sort of stumpy one, and I'm going to put it into Pebble, which is this colour here, which is our sort of light brown, and I'm literally just going to place the product in the crease of the eye and pat it on. You just need to be patting. If you can see, if you're looking at my eye, I'm using the end of the brush and I'm just literally just poking sort of where my eyeball meets the crease bone. That's where you want the product to go. So this is what I call the mid-level colour. This is sort of just starting to give you a little bit of shape to the eye, and you just draw it as if you were drawing a V. So if you can see that there, a V in the eye. And then you go ahead and do the other eye. If you are running out of time and you know that it's been, you've already been at the house for a little bit of time, you could probably just do one eye and then get the host to do the other eye. For the purpose of today, I'm going to just do both eyes, especially if you're starting out. And then you can always come back to the host and fix up anything if need be. So you go halfway across the eyeball from the outer edge in, and again do exactly the same as you did on the other eye. Now you can get, Lauren, can you open your eyes for me and just look up? So what I would also do is, if you can half close your eyes and sort of look down, I can also use my brush. If you're concerned and you don't know where the crease is, you can just draw that line when your client's eye is half open, and that is actually where you want the bulk of the product to go. Okay, and a smoky eye doesn't necessarily have to be ridiculously dark either. So it just means that we're doing an evening look. You're going to take your all over eye brush, you're going to hold the upper eyebrow, and you're literally just going to go in a circular motion to blend that in to that upper eye area. You go back and forth. What I want you to do as well is draw an imaginary line from the end of her eyebrow to the end of the eye. You don't want any eyeshadow to go past that line. You can use your foundation brush, which is probably still a little bit wet, to just clean up any area that needs it. If you have fallout, if you find that you're starting to get a little bit of speckle from eyeshadow because you might have been a little bit too heavy-handed, just take your powder brush, fan it out like that, and just flick it off. Okay? Just flick it off. If you find that there is a lot of fallout, you may just want to take a pad that has a little bit of makeup remover on it, and you can just press it. But I find even if you just take your foundation brush as well and try and just flick the product off very, very gently. So now I'm going to take our shading brush again, and I'm going to use it in Onyx, which is the darkest colour, and I'm going to do exactly the same as what I just did with our brown. So I'm just going to draw a V in the crease of Lauren's eye. These colours are so pigmented and they blend so beautifully that you don't actually need to do a lot with your blending brush. But if you're finding that it's not looking right for some reason, just keep blending and then add a little bit more product. So you can blend it away and then you can add a little bit more. So I'm going to take my shading brush again, all over eye brush, sorry, and I'm going to just blend that into the crease of her eye. Now you can see I've done nothing with the middle of the eye left. That's completely normal because that's where I'm going to put our highlighter, our shimmery colour, which is really going to give this look the best. Okay. Now I'm going to take, open for me, just do a little bit of cleanup here. Yep. A little bit more, you can add a little bit more. And don't be afraid. I know this looks like a lot of technique, but I'm going to come around and help all of you to make sure that you walk out of here looking like $1,000,000. So now I'm going to use our highlighter colour, which is Monsoon. It's a silvery colour. I'm just going to dab my all over eye brush, which is the fluffy one, and I'm just going to place it in the centre of the eye. And what that does, that just blends in where that black onyx was touching the other colours. And I'm just going to do the same to the other eye. It also opens the eye because it is a really light shimmer. You never ever want to apply your shimmer colour before you put your dark colour on. Shimmer always has to go last. It may be different with other eyeshadow brands, but with ours, shimmer has to go last because it's so richly pigmented that you will lose the colour of any other colour that you try to put on. You're going to need to then clean your brush off and blend. Okay, so that really just, using that shimmer in the middle, just ties it all in together. And now I'm going to use Opal, which is my absolute favourite eyeshadow. I use it for so many things because not only can you use it as a shimmer, you can use it as a highlighter as well. So I'm just using the fluffy brush again, which is the all-over brush. And I'm just going to do a dab in the corner of the eye, as so. I'm going to do a little bit of a draw line down the centre of the nose. And I'm going to do a little bit on the upper eye. So it just gives you the most brilliant little highlight. Also underneath the eyebrow. And I'm going to just clean up any fallout there. But you're really patting the product on. You're not actually sweeping it. So as you pat, if you pat, then you're not going to have as much fallout, I find. And you can darken or deepen if you need to. Alright, so that's eyeshadow done. What's everyone thinking? Pretty easy? So next, I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can use your eyeliner. So we've got an eyeliner pencil, which is a very creamy consistency, very easy to use, has a sharpener at the bottom if you need to sharpen it, which you can actually use direct on your eye, but I want you to make sure that you're alcohol swabbing after you use it. And how you do that is literally you just open it up and just grab the little swab and just make sure you run it across before you put it back on the table for someone else to use. So what you can do is you start down the bottom at the outer end and you draw a line, just in light feather sort of strokes, along the lash line using this. It comes in 6 colours. We've got black, we've got brown, we've got purple, green, whatever colour you would like to try, you're more than welcome. I'm going to show you how versatile our eyeshadows are by using our slant brush, which is also one of the brushes included in our little set, and using the eyeshadow as an eyeliner. So first off, I'm just going to use it dry. I'm going to take the slant brush and dip it into the onyx, which is the darkest colour, and can you open your eye for me please? And just look up. I'm going to start with the brush pointed outwards, and I'm just going to draw a smudgy line halfway to the pupil and then back. And then I'm going to do the other side. It doesn't matter if the line's a little bit thick or a little bit wonky because we're going to smoke it out. You just go halfway and that actually opens up the eye. I'm just going to take a cotton bud now and I'm just going to literally just rub it along the bottom there just to smudge it a little bit. There we go. Now I'm going to take a small cup of water and I'm going to dip the brush into the water and I'm going to dip that into a quarter of the eyeshadow to make it like as if you were using a liquid liner. So much easier to apply than a liquid liner because you can actually steady your hand very easily. So what I want you to do is to just, you can even practice on doing a little drawing line before you do it on your actual eye. And you might need to just sort of work it a little bit to get the right consistency that works for you. Close your eye for me. You want to start again with the outside edge and go just along the lash line. And then you want to flip the brush and go from the inner to the middle. This is going to give you a really precise line. It's also, because the product is wet and then it dries, open your eye for me, Lauren. Yeah. Because the product is wet and then it dries, it doesn't give a really harsh line. So if you're a little bit scared of liquid liner because of the fact that it can be so, it has to be perfect, with this, once it dries, you can smudge it a little bit. So if the line's not perfect, you can go back and do it again. So that's my handy little tip. You're doing that, and then you go back and do the other eye. And then you flip the brush and go from the inner to the middle. And if you need to clean up a little, open your eye for me. There we go. Beautiful. How are the eyes looking?
Oh wow.
Starting to look good?
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have finished our eyeliner, we're going to move on to brows. Brows are the best thing that you can do to shape your face. So this is going to really help your eyes to stand out. Our eyebrow pencil is so cool because not only does it have a creamy consistency and a wind-up pencil that's really easy to apply, but it also has a brush attached to the other end. So what you want to do, I like to just warm it up a little bit on my skin first before I use it. And you want to draw a line. You want to draw an imaginary line from the tip of the nose up to the eyebrow, and that is literally where you want your eyebrow to start. You want to draw the line following the underside of the eyebrow all the way to the tip, and again draw an imaginary line from the edge of the lip to the edge of the eye, and that's where your eyebrow should actually end. You want the peak of the eyebrow to be at the edge of the pupil in a little peak like that. And what you do then is, once you've got the outline down the bottom, is you just use feather light strokes going up and across to just fill in the eyebrow. Then use the bristle end to actually just comb out and blend, so it doesn't look like you've actually drawn that eyebrow on, you're literally just filling it in. The other eyebrow product we have, which I also love, especially because of the fact that without eyebrows I look like a seagull, I have hardly any eyebrow hair and it's all very, very fair, so I use both of these products in conjunction with each other, is I take this gorgeous tint cream, which is not a normal hair tint cream, it's just a cosmetic tint cream, and it has a little spoolie edge on the end, and I literally just comb through to give that eyebrow a little bit more depth. So it makes it a little bit darker. So if you have a look from one eyebrow to the other, you can see how much that's just changed the look completely.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just fix it up and do the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we're going to finish off the look now using our beautiful It's a Long Story mascara. This mascara is made with a bamboo extract that actually boosts and lengthens your eyelashes. So the mascara wand that you've got in front of you, I want you all to use, and please don't double dip, just for hygiene purposes. I want you to just put the mascara wand into the product itself and twist. Whenever you're using mascara, you don't need to actually pump. When you're pumping air and bacteria into it. So what you're going to do is just come in and have the client look as if you were sort of looking down to the ground, but don't close the eye. You can use your thumb to hold up the eyelid area, and you can go in a zigzag motion back and forth to get the product onto the eyelid. You can also come in from the top and actually do the top of the lashes in a curling motion. If you feel very uncomfortable about coming in and the fact that you might stab them in the eye with a mascara wand, you can, which I did for the first 6 months of my business, is offer the client to look in the mirror and do it herself. And that is totally fine, because what I like to say is that to really experience the brush itself, I want you to try the product on yourself. That is because mascara is a really personal thing. I always loved Max Factor 2000 Calories. That was my go-to mascara. I literally always tried like a Chanel or Dior mascara, but I'd always go back to that one, and it was my love of the brush. But what I didn't realise was I would get to the end of every single day and I'd be rubbing my eyes, and I always thought it was because I wore contacts and I worked in front of a computer. But what I then found out was when I changed to Arbonne mascara, it's the fact that it had irritants in it and toxins that were actually dropping into my eyes, causing the redness and irritation. So now I'm happy to say that at the end of the day I can actually touch my eyelashes even if I apply a couple coats. They don't clump together, and they have a beautiful, long-lasting, glossy shine to them as well. How's that?
Yep, amazing.
Looking smashing, Lauren. I love it. So once you finish with the tester, you just pop it in the rubbish bin. So at this point, all of the guests are doing their own eye makeup, and you kind of want to make sure that you're keeping them all on point. We don't really give them a time limit, but if you notice that someone's struggling or failing, just go around and help them. I might even do one eye for them to give them an opportunity to then see from one eye to the other in the mirror. Or if I find someone who's really good at makeup at the table, there's usually generally one, whether it's the host or someone else. I will ask them to, I will get them involved, and I'll say, hey, so-and-so, would you like to help so-and-so? Or can you give us a hand or something like that? And generally they love being able to, they love the compliment of knowing that they're good at makeup, and they love being able to try to help someone else to get a little bit quicker at it. So just be conscious of time, because this is where it can really blow out if people are getting up and talking and that kind of thing. So you want to just be asking questions like, how are we going? What are we up to? What's next? So that just kind of keeps the party moving forward. So now that we've done the eye look, I'm going to come around and help everyone at the table to complete the same look. I know it feels like a lot of steps, but I'm here and I'll talk you through it through the whole way. After you've done that, we're going to have a little commercial break. As everyone's finishing up and you're wanting to draw your attention back, you can either do two options. You can play the deal or no deal game, which we're going to show you in another video, or you can use this opportunity to talk about hosting a party and talk about the benefits of becoming a host. So what I like to say is, how's everyone feeling? Everyone feeling more confident with their eye application? Everyone's starting to look really good. Before we get into cheeks and lips, we're almost on the home run. I'm just going to talk you through the benefits of perhaps hosting your own party. So if you're really enjoying what we're doing today and you'd love to get a few girls over for a little workshop, we have a few different options that we can do. So we can do a makeup workshop so you can actually hone in your skills again to learn how to do smoky eye evening look, or I can show you how to do a natural everyday look. So just depending on what you want to do. We also have a facial party, which you're going to try all of the 8 products in the RE9 anti-aging skincare line, including some beautiful at-home facial treatment products that we have that have a high amount of vitamin A in them, and they're just incredible. So at a facial party, literally you probably have 4 to 6 to 8 guests at the party, and everyone gets to have a beautiful mini facial, as well as we do a makeup basics. So I'll teach you how to do a really easy day look at the end of that party. We also have a 30 Days to Healthy Living program, which I can come and talk to. It's sort of like a healthy happy hour where everyone sits down and gets to try all of our nutrition products and learns a little bit and educates themselves about our 30-day program, which is a detox program. And we also have a spa party, which is a new type of party that we're doing, which is just amazing, using all of our detox spa products. So everyone gets to sit and have a foot bath, and they get a clay mask applied, and they get to have a hand massage with our beautiful massage oil. So that is a great one if you just have maybe 3 to 4 friends come over. It's a smaller party. It's really intimate, and it's great to do on a Friday night or a Sunday night even. The benefits of hosting a party, Lauren, just for getting the girls over today, as I mentioned at the start, you're going to get to choose one free gift from the list of our best sellers, and you're also going to get your products that you want on your wish list from 35 to 50% off. So if you if perhaps your wish list is bigger than your budget, then it's always good to host a party. I love doing parties. They are the lifeblood of my business, and I really love spoiling all of my clients and all of my guests that come along. So we also have a sweetener deal, which is basically, if there are any bookings taken today, if we get one party booking, then Lauren is going to get the massive benefit of getting a $50 voucher to spend at your party. If we get 2 party bookings today, then Lauren is going to get $100 voucher to spend at your party. So you might want to think about amongst yourselves as we finish off the presentation today about who you might want to invite and what you could benefit about getting one of these parties and hosting them at your own home. What we're going to do is show you a really quick and easy tip to remember how to use your bronzer. Gone are the days of just spreading bronzer all over your face to make your foundation look darker. It actually makes your face look flat. What we want to use bronzer for is a little bit of contouring, which means you're going to give warmth to the areas of the face that you want to downlight, because we've just spent all that time beautifully highlighting the cheekbones to bring them out and the eye area to bring them forward. So I'm going to take the product, I'm going to dab it in a little bit onto our fluffy slant brush. I'm going to start at the temple and I'm just going to draw the number 3 on Lauren's face. So what we're doing is just going to create that oval look using our bronzer. So what I want you to do, Lauren, if you're not quite sure where the bronzer needs to go, is you're going to ask your client to actually suck in the cheeks and make a fish face. Everyone normally laughs at this stage. And what you want to do is make sure that your bronzer is going in the area from the upper ear through to the end here. This is your cheekbone and you want it to go on the upper area of the cheekbone, and you only want it to go halfway to the eye, okay? So that's going to give a beautiful warmth to the face, and you can already see that it's really making Lauren's eyes stand out even more. If your client is concerned about her neck, you can also do a little bit of bronzer down the neck. That's going to down like that. So there's our bronzer. So just remember 3, the number 3. Now we're going to take our blush. My favourite is Blossom. It goes with every skin tone, whether you've got blonde hair, brown hair. It just is a beautiful, and it has a gold shimmer to it. If you have a more youthful client, you might use something like Taffeta or Ballet, which is also a nice pink. You want to start from the apple of the cheek. So Lauren, if you do a really cheesy grin, cute little dimples, you just take, that's the apple of the cheek. So you start there and then you just sweep up the cheekbone. Thank you. Like that. Now, if you've applied too much, I think you can never have enough blush, to be honest. It's my favourite. I think it gives you a glow, a youthful glow. You can just take your powder brush with no powder on it and just blend that out so that the bronzer and the blush actually blend in together. There we go. So now we have our cheeks done, and generally I'll come around and I'll get the clients to do that themselves, or if we're running short of time, I'll actually come around with my cheeks, with my bronzer and my blush, and I will do it for them if we're starting to run low on time. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you've got your sanitizer spray before you put this brush onto someone else's face with a fibrella cloth. You're going to spray into the cloth and you're going to wipe the brush with this hand before you dab it into the bronzer and go on to the next person. Lastly, we're going to do lips. So we've got our lip treatment, our lipstick and our lip gloss, our lip liner. Try and keep the table fairly clean if you can. A lot of products flying around. So our lip treatment, this is a great product if you get super dry lips or if you're starting to see fine lines and wrinkles around your lips. It's also a lip primer, so it's going to help your lipstick to last longer. You just want to take a tiny bit of the product, you don't need much, and apply it to the back of your hand and use a cotton bud, to actually just smooth it onto the lip. It's not a lip balm, so I just want to warn you, it's not going to feel glossy. It tends to feel a little bit matte on the lips, but that's great because it means the lipstick is going to stick to it. So during the day, it's a lip primer. At night, if you were to use it, you would literally just smear it all over the top and bottom of the lips so that you're getting all of that beautiful raspberry seed oil treatment into your fine lines and wrinkles. So it is predominantly a lip treatment as well as being a lip primer. I'm going to take our lip liner, but first I'm going to ask the client, what type of lipstick would you normally wear? Do you like to go light or dark, or are you into bold colours?
Pretty natural.
Pretty natural?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I would do at that stage is get out my little lip testers just to show everyone on the table what colours we have available. So if you don't have all of the colours, this helps because someone might say, I really want to try that one. Or I use it mainly because I have the majority of the colours as a guide. So I say, okay, so these are all of our smoothed over lip colours. Which one do you think would be something that you would generally wear?
I really like this one.
Okay. I would also, if they're like, oh, I don't know, which one would I try? I generally like to say, if you're doing a dark eye, people will most likely go with a nude lip or a lighter colour lip. Someone like myself though, I love makeup and I've always been really into wearing a lot of makeup. So I don't mind wearing a red lip with a really dark eye. It really just depends on what your client is interested in. I think in terms of makeup artistry, whatever goes, you know, it just has to make the person feel comfortable. So I would probably go something neutral for you, maybe a lily or a magnolia. So this is really handy to have to show everyone the colours. And then there is a great colour matching guide on the source which shows you which lip liner goes with which lipstick and which gloss. So that's very handy. Now, before we get into our lipsticks, I just want to let you know that we have this incredible lip liner. It has a sharpener at the bottom as well. It's a creamy consistency, and the reason why you want to use a lip liner, there's 3 products I'm going to show you that's going to really help to create a really voluminous looking lip. So I'm going to start at the Cupid's bow and I'm just going to draw a little V, and then I'm going to work my way out. I'm using a peach lip liner because we're going with a nude colour today. You can do 2 things. You can fill in the entire lip, which helps the colour to last longer. It also makes the colour a little bit deeper. Or you can just draw slightly outside of her natural lip line. And what that does is that's going to make the lips look a lot larger, or more full, sorry. So then I'm going to use my alcohol swab and I'm going to clean that lip liner before I put it back on the table for everyone else to use. Now I'm going to take my lipstick brush and I'm going to shave a little bit of the lipstick off the top of the lipstick. And I'm going to use the back of my hand as a palette. I'm going to then dip the brush in and spread it with the brush all over the lip. Again, I'm just using my hand to steady, and I'm using my little finger to steady on her chin. Okay. These lipsticks are so beautiful and moisturising. They actually have a watermelon and apple extract in them, which creates the most beautiful smell. I'm not sure what your lipstick smells like, but have a smell of that. It's divine. Every time I put it on in the morning, I get a little bit excited because it just smells so beautiful. There we go. And just purse your lips together. You want to make sure that the client is happy with the colour before you go further. Beautiful. So that's Lily. Make sure you're also writing down the colours that you're using on the host because she won't have time to write it all down as well. And then these lip glosses actually have a peptide in them that helps to make your lips look fuller. So it plumps up your lips. You're going to use a lip gloss applicator. Apply a little bit of the product on the back of your hand again. And all you need is just a little bit in the centre of the lip, just to make it look a little bit more full. You don't need to put all of the gloss out to the edges of the lip, unless the client really loves lip gloss. I just think it gives it a beautiful plump to the lip. They also smell incredible, like the lipsticks, and they have they're not sticky. So a lot of glosses I used to wear, my hair was always getting caught in them and stuff like that. I love them because they're not sticky, but they give a beautiful gloss. And there you are, Lauren.
Amazing.
Lovely. Beautiful. Take your headband off and let's do an after photo on everyone. We can do a group photo. I love being tagged on Facebook, so if you feel comfortable sharing with everyone what beautiful look you created today, please go ahead and start taking some photos. But how's your skin feeling?
Feels great.
Really good?
Yep.
That's awesome. You have been such a wonderful model today.